the southeast. There's another trough that's running down into the west of the country where weather has returned to the southwest. There's a cold front that is moving across the southeast here. Look how skinny it is. It's got some pretty cold air in behind it. We also had some big storms around Newcastle up to Taree yesterday afternoon. They are now well out to sea. So let's take a look at what that means. So here's our cold front moving through. Here's our trough going down into the west and the trough moving into southeast Queensland. Now, if you're on the western side of these troughs, that's the dry side, so you miss out on the wet weather. If you are to the east, that is where you're in the storm risk zone. So that means it is southeast Queensland that has that action this afternoon. Heading into the 8-day outlook, so this is our total potential rain from the AI model, which looks at all the different models and uses machine learning and AI to come up with that one solution for you. And there are some big falls. Anything yellow here, that's over 25 millimetres, 25 to 50. So in the interior, there's a lot of connection there. But here we have southeast Queensland and to the northeastern almost quarter of New South Wales. We even move into the orange zone here, which is 50 to 75. And then maybe even up into 100. So a lot of activity that's coming in through there. There is the chance of something coming through the southeast, mainly not inland, not through western parts of New South Wales. None of the models have that. But some of them do have it moving down through these parts here in connection with this system. This one is moving into the southwest today, and then very much on the horizon is the next weather system, so heading back into a dry spot. Let's unpack that day by day. So here we have up in the top left corner, you can keep an eye on what the day is, and that is Friday. So this is the 24-hour period for Friday. Here we have that activity in through here. Here we have action that is just on the east coast. Here's that cold front coming across the southeast, and here is all of that moving down into the southwest with that tropical connection. So that's Friday. Heading into Saturday, the activity weakens as we move into the east there. This here is big over the interior, just making it down into the Nullarbor there. A break in the southeast. There's a cold front just clipping Tasmania. Heading into Sunday, again, break in the southeast. Cold front moving across Tasmania there. This one is still going strong across the interior, down into the Nullarbor, not quite making it into the southeast yet. Another increase in that activity. This is Sunday for southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales. And then now let's move into Monday. Huge activity, southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales, extending quite far inland, so the trough is quite far back. This one here now might begin to move through the southeast. I'll show you this day by day. Let's just focus on what's happening in the southeast here. So there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now, it's not likely to be those 4 days as an entirety there. The different models that make that up, some of them have it coming in on Monday into Tuesday, others delay that, and it's more Wednesday into Thursday. So it may not be the entire thing that we get wet, but that's showing you that something is coming and it's on all of the models as they come through. So something on the horizon for the southeast, just not quite sure what the timing of that one is looking like yet. Let's go back to Monday here. So lots of activity up into the north. Heading into Tuesday, huge activity. It's right down in through these eastern parts of New South Wales as well, into Wednesday and into Thursday too. And then the next one starts off moving into the southwest, which could be the next rain system that comes across. So that's our day by day. Let's have a look at that overall as a total. So this is from the Euro model. You can see the two, you kind of call it a horseshoe pattern. So if I go back to the rain forecast, this is a very typical summer pattern where we've got a horseshoe trough that is running across in through here, wet weather down in through here, and just to the eastern side of that trough line there. So that shows us, here we have all through these Queensland and New South Wales eastern parts where we've got that wet weather, and all of that comes down through the interior. There's a big gap that's in the middle here. We saw it wasn't going to western New South Wales, not really going to southwest Queensland. And this one hints that it might come into southern Victoria, but it is very 50-50 on the fence there. So there could be something coming properly into the southeast here, but it's definitely not a sure thing yet if we're using a racing terminology like we are in this week. So that is next week, beginning on Monday. Let's have a look at the temperature profile with that. All the warm areas here in the northeastern parts, you'd expect cooler than average temperatures underneath all of that cloud and rain that is over the interior, and that does spill into the southeast and into the southwest as well. So another cool week is in store for Perth and the southwest and into the southeast too. All right, let's go back and now have a look at week 2. So heading further afield, we saw there was another rain system coming down the following week. Yeah, and that might be coming across as well. maybe not making into the southeast. Yet another trough line. We expect that at this time of year, troughs to be running here through Queensland and delivering it anywhere east of that line. So that's our week 2 profile there. In terms of temperature, let's move that in. We expect all of that to be cool thanks to that wet weather that's over the interior there and the cloud band associated with that. Warming up across the southeast for week 2. So this begins the 18th of November. But with that trough line, it looks like day after day after day. So no more of the heat wave, the recent one that we've just had moving in through there. Okay, let's have a look at sea surface temperature anomaly, mainly focusing on the Pacific now because we're in this part of the year and we've got all of our blues out through there. It hasn't grown over the last week. Looking off the coast of Queensland, there's the odd little bit that is cooler here that is probably more related to actual showers and storms that have cooled the area that's just underneath it. So that is a fleeting thing and may disappear, may wash out. Lots of warm water off the northwest coast, so we have a good feed of tropical moisture that is available to us here. And then once the atmosphere starts to interact with this properly, because you've got cool out there and you've got warm as an average here, it's an imbalance. And so the atmosphere essentially catches up and goes, oh, okay, there's a problem down there. Let's associate with that. And what it does is help push that moisture into Australia. We can see that on our graph here of the Pacific Ocean, which has a look at El Nino if you're up in this brown zone, and La Nina if you're down in the green zone. Here we have been steadily going down. There has been some bumps coming in. The last one was a bump. I said it didn't cool off anymore in the last week, and so we've gone a little bit of a bump up through there. The modelling has 1, 2 that are across the Australian threshold into La Nina, 1, 2, 3 that are right on that borderline, but are across the US threshold, which is a shorter one than what Australia has. It's more around this line here, so they're about to go into it. 2 models that don't quite go there and remain as neutral. So all of this is telling us that the Pacific Ocean should help push extra moisture towards Australia as we go across the summer months. The other bit is we've got a lovely source of moisture up in the northwest. That's what's feeding those systems coming down and delivering all of that rain that is moving in through these parts here. It's thanks to that warm water that is off the coast. Also, we have warm water here through much of the Tasman Sea. Again, another source of moisture. If we end up with a jelly bean high that sits in through here on the weather pattern, do we have anything to do with that now that I can show you? Not really. If there is a high pressure system that sits in through here, literally in a jelly bean shape, it takes all that moisture from the Tasman, pushes it across the southeast, and you can get wet weather from South Australia right through Victoria and into Tasmania too, if that high pressure system is low enough. Okay, let's have a look at a bit of a whip around the country. We'll start with Brisbane as we usually do. This afternoon, showers and thunderstorms in the area. They may be severe, so severe characteristics with this one. This shows that for Brisbane, right there in the CBD for this particular spot, it is 2 out of the 4 models that like that wet weather this afternoon. Let's head into Saturday. Not likely to be as stormy. There's only 1, maybe 2 models here that have any wet weather. It's not likely to be quite as hot either. Heading into Sunday, that stormy activity increases late in the day, but really it is 1 model that really, really likes this and does have some pretty big falls if those storms do hit. That continues into Monday and pretty much all next week. It's night and day that we have the storm icons, so they are there at most points of the day as you move through, and it's a little bit cooler too. Heading into Sydney, let's move down the coast. Today, warm, sunshine, about 28 to 29 as we move into the afternoon, so nothing to worry about there. Having a look at Saturday. Cooler weather coming through, so a big temperature drop as we go into the weekend there. We do have onshore winds. Now, have a look at this line here. They are blowing from the southeast to the east, so it's onshore airflow, and that produces that wet weather along the coast. Have a look at the second line here, which is the gust. So the first one is the speed, so it's the average over the hour. The gust is the highest part it'll be across that time period. Now, you will have noticed this morning that they're all a dead northerly. We had a bit of a change in our API overnight. Don't worry, the team are on it right now. They're coming up with what is called a hot fix, and it'll be fixed shortly. So don't worry about them all being a northerly. That will be sorted out, and they'll be the same direction as our speed soon. Okay, so that's a southeast to easterly. That's why it's cool, and that's why there's lots of showers coming in that don't add up to much. Heading into Sunday, still on the cool side, but generally dry. Wet weather increases later. Going into Monday and Tuesday, particularly Monday night into Tuesday, that's when the more severe potential for wet weather does return. Let's head down to Melbourne. And today there's that skinny little cold front coming through. So there's a burst of showers that arrives in the late morning and early afternoon. So it's a wet lunch as you're moving around the Melbourne area. Excuse me. The temperature should dip off because that cold front does come through. There's a bit of wet weather with that one. And then it rises late in the afternoon when it all clears out and the sunshine comes back out. So it'll be a late top of 20. Heading into Saturday, not much going on. It's a northwesterly, then a southerly. The winds are light. There's a little bit of cloud around, and we're sitting there in about the low 20s. Heading into Sunday, cold front has crossed Tasmania. There's a slight risk of a little bit of drizzly shower activity early on Sunday morning, but that is it, and it clears out to fairly nice sunshine. Now, next week, Monday, one model has it coming in later. The Euro, the green one there, did also have that last night, so it has been thinking about it. Heading to Tuesday, 2 of those models. There's the third one, so that's now up to 3 out of 4. Heading to Wednesday, the 4th model comes in there. So it's different timing in terms of when this wet weather is likely to start. They all have it, but they have it at different times. So we wait for that to come closer together. If you look at the rainfall potential here, 0.4 to 13, and then if we go into Thursday, 0 to 10, we want those numbers to squeeze closer together, then we have higher confidence in what is happening. You want all of these rainfall bars with the pastel colours, i.e. all the individual models that we have a look at. You want all of those to be showing a similar pattern rather than some of them here, some of them there, and some of them there into there is that one. So you don't want it to be spread out like that because we know we have low confidence in this particular period. Having a look at Adelaide, the cold front is moving through now. So we've got those showers. They'll taper off in the next couple of hours and then we move back to sunshine in the afternoon, about 20. Moving into your weekend, there's a fair bit of cloud around tomorrow. That's from that system that is over in the west, but it's not producing any wet weather here. So it's mild, it's top of 23. Temperatures rise up on Sunday, and there's a fair bit of sunshine out of that. But as we move into Sunday night and Monday, that's when that inland rain system, showers, thunderstorms, patchy rain, is likely to be moving through this part of South Australia. So it's late Sunday into Monday for there. Having a look over in the west, today wet weather has returned. The cool spell is on its way out and we've got all of this lasting into the afternoon. The next cool spell starts, but we're back to sunshine from tomorrow afternoon once all of that cloud finally clears. Sunday, lovely. Monday, lovely. Tuesday, lovely. It starts to warm up again from Wednesday, so that's when we have an increase in temperature. And then right at the end of the week, Friday is when the next wet weather system might arrive in through there. That's it from me here today. janesweather.com for all of your latest guidance, having a look at all of those different models, providing one forecast solution for you, and also unpacking it so that you know exactly what you can and can't do is our threat toolbox, and also up in the notifications bell here, and you can set alerts that are very specific to what you need to get out of this weather system. I'll see you next week. Bye.